I'm Michelle. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. There we go. I'm a mum with 3 boys, and I actually started Share Your Story because I'm an author, and I started going to conferences and workshops, lectures, and I found that the people that I was talking to in the audience were actually giving me more knowledge and more powerful information than the people who are up on stage, because the people on stage had sometimes had a much easier journey than the people sitting in the audience. The destination when you're an aspiring author is to be published, but there are so many different pathways to that end destination that I found that there was just a huge hole where people weren't getting the real story. So storytelling for me is a huge part of my Meetup group. It really provides a framework. So we have a once a month Meetup, and we encourage people to come and share their story. So we get guest speakers who have had real life experience come and tell aspiring authors the absolute truth, even sometimes when they don't want to hear it, about the journey and what they can expect. So stories also create a context, and they give us a purpose. So you're all storytellers. You don't have to be an author to be a storyteller, and I've heard so many of your stories already just over the last day, and that has real power. The most powerful thing I did at my very first Meetup was allow people to stand up and tell their story. And every time when my meetups get a bit tough, because it does, sometimes you think, why am I doing this? I think back to that first meetup. And we had people who felt comfortable enough to stand up and tell us, complete strangers, things they had never told other people before. Because we gave them permission and a safe space to come and share their story. We had people telling us about how they'd just gone through the public law system because she had been raped, and she had never told any of her friends that this happened, but she'd just been through the court case, and she had to provide her diary, she had to say why she was wearing what she was wearing, and she just let it all out. And we had people talking about their daughter's problem with anorexia. It was just amazing. And from that very first group, people have gone on, just because they had permission to share their story, to then go and publish stories that will then help so many other people. So storytelling in my community allowed me to make an immediate social connection. I always start with a story, give people a context, because it's easier to learn through a story than it is through facts. Our brains are just wired to like listening to stories. And I make a lot of a faster connection so that people feel comfortable straight away. And if I can encourage you today to share your story, like this is a totally safe space. If you feel like you want to share your story with people, then this is absolutely the right context to do it. So I'm the type of person who I talk the talk, but I also like to walk the walk. That's very much how I am as a person, as well as a leader of the Meetup group. So we decided that we wanted to do more than just help the people in our Meetup group. So every time somebody attends a workshop with Share Your Story, we sponsor a Dali girl in India to learn how to read and write. So the proceeds from the cost of that. And I've been speaking to my community, and to say thank you so much for having me today. We've actually sponsored 206 Dali girls in India for every one of you here at Togetherfest today. So thank you so much. So you are definitely helping to change the lives of people, and I'm just so grateful that you've had me here. Thank you so much.